Let's go to a briefing on the Stone Canyon fire in
I'm
Lyons.
Public Information Officer Jamie Barker. Today you're going to be hearing from Boulder County Sheriff Curtis Johnson, that's CURTISJOHNSON, and Boulder County Sheriff's Office Public Information Officer Vinnie Montez, that's VINNIEMONTEZ. The sheriff is going to give you a brief on what's occurring and then answer a few questions. I'll follow up with more information on where to find alerts about evacuations as well as information on the fire. So I'm going to hand it over to the sheriff.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Curtis Johnson, Boulder County Sheriff. Just want to give you a few details of what we know is going on today with the Stone Canyon fire. This fire started at approximately 1:30 this afternoon. Our dispatch center was alerted to smoke in the area. Units responded and found an active wildfire in the area of Stone Canyon, just to our north. Immediately, we began evacuating that area and areas to the north and east. The fire has continued to grow and is continuing to move in a northeasterly direction. We're about 8 miles away from the Alexander Mountain fire. The good news for us is that we were able to grab resources from Larimer County. As soon as our fire kicked off, the Larimer Sheriff was in contact with me, offered to send some of those air resources to this fire to try to help us get it under control. So within an hour, we had a lot more support than we might on a normal initial fire because of the fire burning north of us. Those air resources are continuing to work, both the Stone Canyon fire and the Alexander Mountain fire as needed. They will continue as long as weather conditions permit. Currently on the Stone Canyon fire, we have about 70 firefighters on the ground doing work. We have deputies from the sheriff's office, as well as law enforcement officers from surrounding agencies, and our friends from Larimer County came down to help us. We were in Larimer County yesterday helping them evacuate neighborhoods, and as that fire stabilized a little bit, they were able to send help to us. We work really closely together and communicate well, so we were able to get some Larimer County folks down here to help us evacuate the neighborhoods that are being directly impacted by the fire. The last estimate on acreage I heard was about 85 acres. But that was over a half hour ago, and I would estimate the fire has grown to be at least 100 acres by now. We should be able to have multi-mission aircraft fly over later to get us an accurate size up. But as you know, with these fires, the numbers can flux and change. So we'll wait for really good data later today or tonight to give us a real good picture on the size of the fire. We are continuing to evacuate people to the north and east. This fire is pushing towards the Larimer County line, which is not far from Boulder County in this area, and so we'll continue to work on it and make progress and hopefully get it put in some semblance of control. But right now our focus is life safety, making sure people are evacuated, making sure animals are removed from the area, and then it's structure protection, trying to protect homes and property. Once we have those starting to be accomplished, we should be able to get lines around the fire and try to help really slow it down. Unfortunately, the weather conditions are not going to change or help us today. It's going to be hot, it's going to be dry, and we're in a red flag warning for the winds that are expected to pick up later today. So the conditions are about as bad as they can be for us to be fighting this fire. But we will stick with it tonight. I expect it'll take us days to be able to really manage it. I'm assuming there's questions about structure loss. At this point, we have heard unconfirmed reports that there may be structures that have burned in this fire, maybe 2. We don't have good confirmation or good address because, again, our focus right now is trying to slow the fire down, protect other structures, and make sure people are safe. We'll do a better assessment as the days progress and get you more information about what, if any, structures were impacted or lost. We're also evacuating animals from here to the Boulder County Fairgrounds. So if people are looking for animals or had animals moved, they'll be at the Boulder County Fairgrounds in Longmont, where they'll be safe and taken care of until we can get them back with owners and get them back in the neighborhood.
How rapidly would you say this fire is progressing?
It's hard to say at this point. It's been jumping around a little bit and moving as the winds pick up. It finds fuel and advances. As the winds die down, the further north and east it pushes, there are some grazed pastures out that way, which could help us slow things down. But that's going to be really dependent on the weather and the winds.
That was going to be kind of my next question. Is it more so just moving east and north, or is it picking up and kind of finding new spots?
It hasn't been really torching ahead. The winds haven't been that strong yet, but it has jumped over some roads, made progress north and east. So we'll be working on it all night.
I saw some people concerned that it could touch the Alexander Mountain fire. Is there anything you would want to say to people who have that fear?
Well, we don't know yet, because the direction, I have not been focused on the Alexander Mountain fire. This is my concern right now. We will be in communication, and the State Division of Fire Prevention and Control is looped into both fires and working with us in coordinating efforts. We're hopeful it won't touch, but we also want to make sure that we can share resources to address both fires.
How do people get down from that area? I had heard it's pretty limited.
It's pretty limited out to Highway 66. There are some ways to cut back and go north and loop back around, but most everybody is out of that neighborhood now. We had deputies going door to door, evacuating people, removing animals and livestock, and pushing out alert and warning to people to get them out of the area.
Obviously, you have a lot of community members here. What would you say to them right now?
I am sorry this is happening in your community. You know, I have been on pins and needles since 10:30 yesterday when the Alexander fire kicked off, knowing that conditions are really ripe for bad fire. And we're going to do everything we can to stop this fire. That's all I can offer you at this point. And we will keep working on it until it's out.
How have evacuations been going? Are people able to get out safely?
We have, as far as I know, and Vinny Montez can fill you in a little bit more on the evacuation and where those areas are. Haven't heard any really big concerns about getting people out. We've been able to get people out. The good thing about people who live in and around Lyons is they're pretty resilient and they're pretty smart, and they're not afraid to cut a fence or drive down a road that maybe they wouldn't otherwise drive down to get to safety. And we appreciate that they're taking care of themselves and getting out of harm's way.
Are you guys getting the support you need just considering the Alexander Mountain fire?
Well, it is a struggle across the entire western United States to get resources right now. There are huge fires burning in California and Oregon and even out of the country. And so we are working every angle we can to get structure protection engines up here to help protect homes, to get hand crews up here to start carving lines around the fire. We were fortunate to get air resources today because of the Alexander Mountain fire. So we're doing everything we can to get everybody we need here to help fight this fire. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Vinny Montez for any other questions and a little more information on where people can go for updates and more information about this fire.
Just so everybody knows, for road closure purposes, everything from US 36 or North St. Vrain at Blue Mountain Road, or what's called County Road 71 North as it moves into Larimer County. That area is closed for anybody going north from that point. And then we start working our way east along the outskirts of the north edge of Lyons. So along Steamboat Valley Road where 5th Avenue ends, that area north of there is closed. And we start making our way towards the east, Stone Canyon Road, all the way out to 55th or 53rd and Ute Highway. Everything north of those intersections that I just gave you along US 36 or Ute Highway is closed right now for residents going back in there. I want to share two things just to elaborate what the sheriff said. I know animals are an important part of our community here in Boulder County. So if there are livestock that need to be evacuated in any way, shape, or form, the Boulder County Fairgrounds, located at 9595 Nelson Road, is open right now. Jefferson County has also extended their fairgrounds to us to be able to reallocate or relocate any livestock that need to go there. And then for people, if you don't have anywhere to go right now, there is an evacuation point at the fairgrounds near the exhibit hall where we have staff that are going there to give information out. It is not a shelter. I want to be clear about that. It's just an information point. So if people are evacuating out of the area, they have somewhere to go to get additional information. Additionally, we want to talk about, we're going to go over at the end some information for alert warning, but I want to cover updates for this fire. Everybody can go to BOCO Info and text BOCO Info, BOCO Info, INFO, all one word, to 888-777, and you can receive text messages directly to your phone so you get the latest and greatest updates. The information that you'll get in that text message will allow you to click a link where it'll take you to the Boulder ODM information on the backside where you're going to be able to get maps about current information. And why it's important to get BOCO Info information, that'll have road closure updates, evacuation updates as far as where people can go and get resources. It's different than the alert, and I'll leave that for her to talk about at the end. But anything that's updated related to this particular fire, that's where you want to go to get the latest and greatest information. Are there other questions? Text BOCO, B-O-C-O, Info, I-N-F-O, one word, to 888-777, 3 8s, 3 7s.